We're back with the Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM.com, and we have multiple platforms every week. I remind everyone, Corintha, that we have multiple platforms to watch the show.
Absolutely, we sure do. We have Facebook, we have Facebook Live, we have YouTube Live. We also have, we're everywhere, Instagram, Twitter. I've put you on Snapchat. You didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
See what I was thinking.
See there? Yeah, I don't know all that. There's something new every week. But Snapchat, it'll be there until the adults get there. And then...
I know.
Until people 30 years and older get there, then the kids, they all run off and start something else.
Yes.
As they should. As they should. Well, speaking about kids, we were just talking about the egg lady. Corintha, you want to...
Egg lady.
So absolutely, I don't know if you know about this, but YouTube marketing and everything that he's talking about is so incredibly powerful. There's folks out there that they call influencers. We've actually studied this in one of my classes, in where you have folks who literally have contracts with YouTube and they make millions of dollars, and it'll be one individual doing this. So, for example, a really good example of that is the Egg Lady. Do you have kids that watch these egg shows that literally all it is they're taking apart a little egg and a little toys inside? That lady makes millions of dollars, millions, because of YouTube.
Brilliant. We were just talking about, how do we do something similar to that? And the foresight that went into understanding that there is a 1 to 2 year old demographic of tablet users that's going to emerge because of Kindle Fire and all of these, tablets that parents, exhausted parents, because they're 1 and 2, are like, take the tablet. Just the brilliance, is deserving of those millions of dollars. Yeah. I mean, and so I think it's fantastic what she's done, and I've seen those videos, and my daughter loves them. So more power to her. And so like what Guy's doing, what you're doing with this show, what I'm doing with the YouTube channel, like we're all playing with this idea of reaching this critical mass, and I just think it was just a stroke of genius that the egg lady found it when she did.
Yeah, she target marketed. I mean, that's really what it's about, is you have to be very focused about your target market, and I see it a lot in business where people get in, they have a great idea of what they want to do, and they sometimes miss the audience. Being the more focused and the more niched you can create your network or create your audience, and you just keep feeding that small demographic, you're much more powerful than just spreading it out. If they tried 1-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 45-year-olds, yep. You figure out which one works, and you just target all of your focus on that.
Yep, and that's absolutely right. It's funny to me that we will, say, walk into a room. I spoke at Planet Hollywood Hotel and Casino, and there were 50 people in that room. 50 is a lot of people in a room to be talking. And so that moment I was like, there's a lot more than 50 people listening to the show right now. See what I'm saying? But just psychologically, we find ourselves going, I can't see you, so not entirely sure, right?
Radio's like that.
Right? Where you just kind of like, so you get used to it. And so think about, like on YouTube, you're going to reach 70,000 people in 2 months. Right? 70,000 people are going to see you interview the Australian Bee Gees, right? And so when it comes to target marketing, the more niche you are, because 70,000 in marketing that's not dropping the bucket, right? Yet, if we were to stand in front of a group of 70,000 people and give a speech,
Too much. I even think about the pressure of for example, Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl, and I mean, she's used to performing to huge audiences in arenas of that size, but that's a lot of pressure, because you don't just have that particular audience that's watching you. You have the entire nation that's watching you. So, yeah, but that's kind of how YouTube is, really.
Yeah,
if you want to compare it to that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you have this huge audience, and YouTube just keeps growing and growing, and the partnership, since Google owns it, I mean, the resources are there. It's just going to, I don't see it being replaced by any any other video type of a network. Do you? I mean, anyone having the resources to be able to create something that could compete with YouTube?
Yeah,
no way.
Just dominant.
There's just no way.
And business owners that I talk to, I'll say, hey, can you give me some YouTube videos? And in their mind, and most of this is, call them 45 to 55-year-old, business owner, stereotypical person, right? They'll say to me, oh, okay, so we'll need a video production crew, and we'll need this and that. I'm like, oh, like, no, like, talk to a 16-year-old. Yeah. Right? See what they're doing, right? Like, point the video at your face and talk, please, I'm begging you, because they're still stuck in this 30-second TV world. And it's done, it died. It's, it's like, it's gasping on its last breath. Like, the Super Bowl commercials, people are like, it's like, it's an afterthought now. And so, in junior high, I think we could all agree, a little awkward, a little kind of, and the nerves and the, and for some reason, people think that when you get older, that disappears. And most of the time, it doesn't. It's right there, as strong as it ever was. It's just a matter of you don't have to do these things anymore. You can find a job where you don't have to do public speaking. You can, you can just not do it.
Yeah, run away from your problems.
Right? That's exactly right. 100%.
You've been doing a lot of speaking. How's that been for you?
It's been good, man. I've done 30, 35 engagements over the last couple years, and I'm writing a book, 98 pages into that. I did a podcast today with David Brower at 10. He was super nice, and after that podcast, he does some audio work. I said, would you read my book, David Brower, so we can put it on Audible and iTunes? He's like, yeah, I'll read your book. And so now I'm going to have an Audible and iTunes, and there's a website that apparently puts them up there for free. They help you in that process, and then they'll just take a royalty. And so I'm going to try to do Audible and iTunes for the book. But the thing about these shows, for me, is it is a platform through which I hope I can make the world a better place, right? So the end result is like, how do we educate folks on connecting to a nonprofit? That's kind of the point of it. And we bought a billboard not too long ago. It was this ridiculous deal. And I was debating on, so I got to split the time between Send It Rising and KellenKautzman.com. And I was like, do I want to put my face on a billboard? Because it is like narcissism at a level that's just beyond, like, the ego is just
branding.
Thank you, right? But I can see that. I can hear the haters. I can just hear it.
There's
like,
always haters.
You are so so condescending and self-centered and all that, And I'm like, to a certain extent, they're right, right? But I believe that leadership requires this kind of like, it's not comfy, right? It's not a comfy position that we find ourselves in, but we're going to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. And so if the cause marketing or if the nonprofit piece of the puzzle didn't exist, I would feel a lot more hollow than I currently do. And so that's why the big initiative in 2017 is this cause marketing.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of branding, sometimes you have to take one for the team. Even if it's something that you're not all that comfortable with doing, you might think it's narcissistic, but in reality it's not, because if they don't see, there has to be a face to a brand. Well, not all brands have a face, but I think in your particular situation, you have to separate yourself from your business. You have two identities. You have yourself, and then you have yourself for your business. And so that's basically what you're doing, is you're using your likeness as a separation. And that's the brand that you're presenting to the world. It's valuable. It's important that you do that. You don't have, just because you like to be in front of the camera doesn't mean you're narcissistic. Right, Carintha?
I'll take a fist bump.
Oh, we're not narcissistic. Well, no, but I get it. I get what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Like, because here we are, like, the cult of personality. I mean, do you feel that way? Because here you are hosting, a show and doing the thing. I mean, do you ever feel that kind of like,
I do to a certain extent, just because of kind of where I am kind of personally with my own kind of morals and ethics on things. But then I also think about, well, what am I using my face for? And if I'm using it for something good, if I'm promoting good, if I'm, doing this broadcasting thing to, help support folks like you and other folks who are doing wonderful things for local nonprofits and helping support business here in Las Vegas, then why not put my face on it? I think it's all about what your intention is also, and I think that's part of it, and I think that's part of what you were saying too, Guy. But I get it. But but like, I get it too. But then it's also like, how narcissistic is it that I can get up in front of 125 people in a room and just speak?
Yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also too, I actually did a college paper on this, on selfishness, and how if you take care of yourself first and you're doing what you can for yourself in terms of your business, for yourself personally, why not share that with others? Why not put your name and your face out there? So, especially if you're helping others. So.
Right on, Corinta.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
So, do you feel better about it now?
This is therapy for me.
You'll get a bill later.
We do a lot of therapy on the show, and so I'm glad to hope you leave feeling better than when you
I had a breakthrough.
Dr. Dawson.
Yeah, right.
What's it like running an internet marketing business nowadays?
Yeah, it's. I love the autonomy of it. Many days I can work wherever and whenever I want, which is really nice. I can leave and go give my daughter a big hug, which is amazing. The value of that is tremendous. At Advise Media Group, we had a very expensive office in downtown. And when I moved on to Send It Rising, I said, overhead, no, just everything I can do to get rid of overhead. So we have space at the Innovation Center, but I'm there for meetings 2, 3, 4 times a week, doesn't matter. So we find ourselves in this kind of liberated economy. The internet marketing world is just fluid. I mean, if there's Wi-Fi here, I can work here, whatever. I meet folks wherever. And so working in internet marketing is just so liberating, and it's the closest thing to like retirement with a job. You know what I mean? So I'm still grinding, I'm still working my butt off, but just that like office space. Did you get the TPS report?
None of that corporate
stuff. And I will compliment my director of operations, Bree Schmidt, no less than 10 times a day. I'm like, you are so awesome. You are so awesome. I'm so proud of what you're doing. She's just kicking so much butt. And to be able to be in a position to do that is like, right, because we all want that. Like, if we work for someone, just like, I couldn't do this without you. Here's a raise. I gave her 4 raises in 4 some months. Like, it was just, because I don't want the overhead, don't need it, and if I can get her to anywhere where she should be. So she was a captain in the Air Force. She worked in intelligence, and she's still in school. She's wrapping up the marketing degree, but like quite literally, she runs the show, and so it is just, for example, we're managing now $36,000 a month in pay-per-click. The return on investment we're seeing for some of our clients is like 15 to 20 times ad spend, and I quite literally could not have done it without her. And so what do you say to someone that does that for you and your family, and like you're all tight knit? And it reminds me of Simon Sinek's book, Leaders Eat Last.
Yes.
Wonderful
Love
book.
Simon Sinek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had an excerpt where he talked about the Spartans and 300, the shields and the cape and the spear. Those guys, they would, if you came back after a battle without your spear, go whatever. Like, all right, hey, how's it going, Bill? Because Spartans are named Bill.
All Spartans?
All Spartans were named Bill. That's a point of fact. Bill 3, Bill 9. But if you would come back without your shield, the punishment was ridiculous. And the concept was that, if I lose my shield, then the guy to my left is in trouble, right? And so that's what I'm trying to promote here with Send It Rising, is like, we protect one another. I'm the face, I'm out there. She's got my back, right? Like, if the phone's ringing right now, she's got it, she's on it. You know what I mean? And so an internet marketing company in 2017 could be a lot of things, but for me, it's just a blessing.
And when you're running a a business where you're striving to have social consciousness, which is what you were talking about, cause marketing, and there's a whole different approach to leadership in the way that you work with people as partners in developing the brand, because people feel invested when they are praised and when they think, oh, this person actually acknowledged me. I mean, because we've all had so many jobs where nobody even, like you said, nobody ever even acknowledges you, and they feel like the paycheck is it. As long as you get that paycheck, that you're fulfilled. And I found that that's not true in human beings. I mean, the paycheck, people will do a lot of things for free if they feel fulfilled.
And the work is just so much better. I mean, you're a big fan of Dale Carnegie. You did the course and the whole nine, how to win friends and influence people, and yeah, he nails it on the head with the whole praise is just a ridiculous motivator. I mean, when people praise me, like, I melt like butter. I mean, I'm just like, oh, dang. And isn't it funny that the people that are most out there in the world, that are just like, okay, I'm going to be the face of the, are oftentimes the most susceptible or most needing, craving that praise. Mm-hmm. I remember an anecdote of a gentleman who went and just listened to this woman whose whose husband had passed, and she was alone, and he just listened to her for an hour and a half as they toured the house, and then ended up she gave him a car, and it was part of how to win friends and influence people, as an excerpt in that. So that was running through my head the other day, crazy story, where I met some folks that are realtors. Sat down with this realtor at an open house, met this dude, right? And I just listened to him. That's all I did, off the Carnegie thing. He invites me to a meeting. All I did was listen. And he had a potential client there. All I did was listen. Got invited to another meeting. All I did was listen. They invited me to a $1.5 million property, right? I don't even know why I'm there. There is a pool and fountain and spa in the center of this house. There's a Star Trek door in the master bedroom, and it's like a circular house. They custom built this thing, nothing like it ever. And it was the pitch meeting for them to get the business. And guess what I did during that meeting? Listened, right? And they walked out of this meeting. I'm like on the team now, apparently. And they walked out of it with the owner saying, okay, Susie and Alan. They said, like, go ahead, market it. Give it a shot.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they consider you to be a great conversationalist because you sat there and you listened. And that's one of the principles of Dale Carnegie, is he talks about that people will think you're a great conversationalist. They'll talk, and you just sit there, and then when they get done talking, then they'll say, boy, you are a great conversationalist. But it's true. People, sometimes they just want someone to be there just to listen to them, and that is so
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that in the new job that I have now, where I'm academic advising, and that was one of the things that came back as feedback is, Corintha, you just need to listen to the other person. Because I'm a talker. I'm the one that's like, listen to me. Listen to me talk all day. And so I have to learn the art of listening, especially because of my job and what I'm doing. And I utilized that today, and it was really interesting because I had a very frustrated and angry gentleman on the phone, and I just listened to him. And then I kind of like curbed the conversation the way that I wanted, and I got the information out of him that I needed. And then he was very pleasant when he got off the phone. And that's the power of listening.
Well done, Corintha.
Yeah.
Yeah, these little things that you think are insignificant, like just being quiet.
Yes, that's all I did. I literally sat there like
it
this.
It just seems so insignificant, but for people, sometimes people just want to be heard, right? Do you ever feel, sometimes I just want someone to to listen to what I have to say, and then I get it off my chest, and then I feel better, and I feel great when I have someone that'll sit there and just not be in judgment, just listen.
Absolutely.
Not always have an answer, and that's where we can get into, we're sitting there thinking about what the answer to their problems are instead of just letting them vent.
Absolutely. I think that's really, really key, and I've had to really learn that myself in the last few years, for sure. Absolutely.
Kellen, we're near the end of the broadcast, but tell everybody about your business. You can help a lot of people out with SEO and internet marketing. Will you tell them how they can get in contact with you?
Sure. 702-263-0141. Again, that's 702-263-0141. Senditrising.com would be a great website for you to check out. And also my name, KellenKautzman.com. That's Kellen, K-A-U-T as in Tom, Z as in zebra, MAN.com. And I've never done that before. I've never pitched that exact
you never
word.
pitched yourself
No, I'm
like
kidding.
that?
I've done that a million times.
There's so many YouTube videos of that. Yeah.
Thanks so much for being a part of the broadcast today,
Had a blast.
And
Thanks,
thank
Guy
you,
Dawson.
Corintha.
Absolutely. It was a
Queen of all
pleasure.
media, excellent job as always. Thank all of you out there for tuning in to this week's edition of The Guy Dawson Show. We can't wait to come back.
Yes.
7 days to do another broadcast. Take care of yourselves.